So you're on.
Okay, perfect. Well, I am Ryan Breedwell. Very nice to meet those who I don't know, but I've known Susan and the BBRN kind of group since 2017 and 2019, 2020 COVID happened, and then I've disassociated and we've come back since then. But I've known Susan and Bill for quite some time. I know Pat Gakutan has been a member for some time. I know Perry, and we're excited to kind of rekindle that with Nick and Jared to potentially get some more referrals working back in the group. Prior, we were a very active member in the group. I think that would be safe to say. I was going to all the morning meetings, all the lunch meetings, and now we've got the capacity to help outside of that. Typically what we offer to all of the people that we know in the referral groups that we're in is we love being a part of your fundraisers. And so we have ownership and part of a winery, and we like to just try to host those. And so that's something we like to do with all of our guests. People open up over a glass of wine, and it's typically a good time, and people donate, so it's a really fun time. So we've had a good experience doing that. Business-wise, why I think we would be really well qualified. I have experience with working with members in the group. I'll let them tell you who they are if they'd like. It's not my business to say that, but there are members in this group currently that we do work with and have worked with for many years. We're a private independent firm, so we don't have an affiliation with a broker-dealer, which is a big deal. That means we're a fiduciary. We don't have an affiliation with an insurance company. We don't have an affiliation with an investment company. We really just work for our clients. So a lot of the times, and specifically if we're speaking about who we're directly competing with, that's a broker-dealer versus an investment advisor. So an investment advisor is a fiduciary that is obligated to give the best advice to their clients at all times. We're not allowed to charge commissions. We're not allowed to charge trading fees. We're not allowed to do a lot of the things that brokers do, because it's not in your best interest. Brokers are kind of like car salesmen. There's a factory that makes mutual funds, variable annuities, variable insurance products, and they are paid commissions to sell them. That's how they get paid, versus we get paid a flat fee, which is an advisory fee. We charge 0.85%. Primerica is 2.49. So it's a big difference on fees. It's a big difference on cost. Experience-wise, I think very similar. We have about 34 years in the Northern California area. Our firm has been here. We have about 300, in just California, we have about 360 million of client assets. Nationwide, we have about 11 billion as a group. So we are a very big private company. My father founded the firm about 34 years ago. I took over as VP in 2015. Jared and Nick just came on last year and early this year, so I'm getting them educated, kind of like I did back in 2017. I was lucky enough in 2024 to be ranked, and currently am ranked in the top 100 solo advisors in the United States. I think I'm sitting at 87th right now. And I got that accolade from being highly credentialed. I've been awarded the past 5 years in a row, SACB, 5-star wealth manager, things like that. But the way that I've gotten that, being honest, being transparent, performance definitely does matter, especially when you're talking about people's investments, but just providing a level of service that's beyond the norm. So there's lots of people that work with the other firm that are very successful, and there's nothing bad with that. I would say the difference is a McDonald's cheeseburger and an In-N-Out cheeseburger. I don't think I sell as many cheeseburgers as McDonald's, but I think my burger is of higher quality. And so that's the biggest difference that we would be able to provide. Because I don't work for a company. The company doesn't tell me I have to do something for my client. The company doesn't tell me I have to charge a fee that I don't want to charge to my clients. We just work for our clients. So I'm married 7 years, live with my wife up in Rockland. I have a 15-month-old, sleeping good, but he's awesome. His name is Banks. No reason, not the financial one, just Banks. And like I said, we've grown the practice in the area really with a focus of being holistic, family first, individual client focused, and that's been a really good role for us. And we've had really good client success as well. 34 years, we've never had a complaint filed against us ever as well. We have 56,000 clients around the United States. So it's quite a big accolade to carry for that period of time. and we can do everything too. So we do insurance, we can do estate planning, we can do social security, I can act as a fiduciary on behalf of you in a court. I can help you get a HELOC for your house. I don't do that. I can go find somebody like yourself to do that and make sure that we negotiate. I can do a lot of things that other advisors can't do because we're at kind of the tippy top. Institutional investment advisor. I've been lucky enough to have Vinny and his team down to our office, and they can tell you we have a really nice office for our clients to come in and hang out. If you were to choose us and use us as a referral partner, what I can tell you is, and what I've stressed to them and we've had a bunch of meetings about, we are very much in the business of making you look good by giving us referrals and vice versa.
So I'm going to time you out for a second. Do you mind joining him up there so you can introduce?
Yeah.
Because that's who we're really voting on.
Jared is my brother of 10 years.
Nick, I don't know if
Nick,
you want to go up there.
come on up. He's my brother, 10 years younger. Fully licensed, the same as myself. Also fiduciary, full insurance licensing. They are training under myself and my father right now. So they're learning how I do things, how my father, who is 60 years old, does things. They're getting something I didn't get, which is perspective from somebody in their mid-30s like myself. I was trained by my father, so I had to take his way of doing things and make them mine. They're getting a little bit of a double dip. I'll let Jared kind of give you his background. He has a pretty impressive thing.
Yeah, so I was actually going back just a couple years. I'm 24. I graduated from UNR. I was a Division I college baseball player. So I got a lot of, team building stuff going through college and all of that. And then kind of got flopped on my face a little bit when professional baseball didn't work out. And I'd always thought, eventually baseball was going to run out and I'll just go work with my dad and brother. But kind of when that day came, eventually it was a little, shocking. And kind of everything that we do as far as work, you can't learn in school. So, you graduate college, no matter if you got a bachelor's degree like I got or a master's in finance, you don't have any experience. So you kind of have to start at square one. Luckily, as Ryan was mentioning, I got two mentors who, couldn't be better. Like, best in the world, 50 years of experience between the both of them, and they know what they're doing and they do things the right way. So, very confident. Obviously, I still have a lot to learn. I'm sure Ryan still would say that he's learning every day. But I know that, kind of the source of where I get all my information and the stuff that I'm learning is 100% true and, kind of helps me put people's financial situations together as best as I know how. Obviously, I personally am an expert on Social Security. I give weekly workshops in front of rooms of hundreds of people. Each week we have one tonight actually at the Lincoln Library that we're gonna go do. So as far as clientele, kind of what's our ideal lead. Personally, really, we specialize in people entering retirement. So I'd say around 55 plus. But we also are proficient wealth managers for our younger, higher net worth clients who just want to build up their pile of cash for eventually that day when they do cross the retirement finish line. I think that's all I have.
Perfect.
Just so we've done a plan.
Just real quick.
Yeah,
just introduce yourself.
I just joined. I'm fresh blood in the firm. I am college roommates with Jared, so that's kind of how I got on board. And we're family friends with the Breedwells, so I just got up here and I'm just starting my training and watching Ryan and Rich go about their business. And I think the thing that I'm most proud of working for this firm is just right off the bat realizing how truthful and upfront we are with our clients and how determined they are to fulfill all their promises, even if it's not the most ideal situation for us as a client or as the advisor, but doing what's right by the client. So.
Right, perfect. So just to let you know, I had a conversation with Jared yesterday. He's going to be the primary applicant. He has the firm behind him, and then we discussed whether Nick is going to be a co-member, kind of like James and Stephen are, or if they're going to just be like subs. So they don't have to decide that, but that's why we're introducing both of them.
If Susan allowed, pop in every once in a while and say hi.
Perfect.
I'm going to be the main face you guys see and interact with, but you got not only Ryan behind us, but my father as well.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Where's the office located?
Right here on Douglas Boulevard, 3300.
Does anybody else have any quick questions? We're kind of running a little bit over, yeah.
What kind of minimum balance are you looking for?
Our filed paperwork is $5,000. We'll work with anybody with any amount of money over $5,000. There are certain things we can't do with certain amounts of money, but we will not shove somebody into a size 9 shoe. So if you have $5,000 and you're serious about investing, we'll at least talk to you and see if we can help you out. Our typical client asset balance is about $340,000. I think it's our average balance right now. But anything, anything over $5 grand.
Any other questions?
And
Sean.
You said your father started into the business 30 years ago. Now, was that the inception of the actual company? Was that like a franchisee?
34 years ago, we were Breedwell and Associates. We rebranded in 2006 to Foundations Investment Advisors. So the name of the firm filed with the SEC is Foundations Investment Advisors.
So
And we're
your
headquartered-
dad started the whole thing?
Started our whole company, correct? And we were a California corporation. We reincorporated in Arizona for tax purposes. I think somebody on TV was saying something.
James, you okay?
Okay.
Question?
Yeah, I just had a question about minimums, but you answered my question. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so anybody who has a question for them, feel free to reach out. That information will go out in the next email. So if you have a question you haven't thought of, please check it out. Okay.